Hey guys, welcome back to Ranger Survival and Fieldcraft. I'm Andrew, and what I have for you today is a look at my jungle survival kit and all the components inside that kit to live and survive in a jungle environment. Let's go. Now, before ever going to a jungle environment, we need to prepare ahead of time, and as part of our medical kit, we should have medications in there that will help prevent the onset of certain diseases, viruses, or bacterial infections while in the jungle. In this case, doxycycline pills, which are issued to military personnel to help prevent disease. Besides medication and any other things inside of our medical kit that we can use in the field, we can improvise with other things. Now, whenever we go to a jungle environment, it would probably behoove us to take a little bit of chewing tobacco with us, not just to have simply in the field to chew tobacco, but we can take that tobacco, put it inside a small bush pot, and then add some water, stir it up, and let those leaves soak. The nicotine will extract from the leaves themselves, and then we can add articles of clothing to that mixture, add a little bit more water on top, and let it soak for a while. Once our clothing is soaked, we can hang it up to dry. The nicotine will be absorbed into the fibers of that clothing, and that nicotine will paralyze and kill leeches crawling on our clothing, helping to protect us. There aren't that many leeches in this area while they are present, but in a jungle environment, they are prevalent and cause a lot of injuries and wounds that can get infected. So we protect ourselves with this improvised method. Now let's talk tools. Anytime we go to the field, we should and we can lean heavy on tools because we can use those tools to recreate just about everything we would need in a survival scenario from the items around us in nature. However, in a jungle environment, that number one tool all the time, always, is going to be a machete or a parang. In this case, we have the Bushcraft Condor Parang, 13-inch cutting surface, high carbon steel. It's got a 90-degree spine, a good solid plastic handle, and it handles very well in a jungle environment for everything that we need. Anytime we go to the field, we should also add a saw to our kit. That saw makes everything very efficient when harvesting material for firewood or carving notches. The saw is an efficient tool and takes up little space. To protect our hands, we have a good solid pair of shooter's gloves, and we could take other gloves with us, and we should probably have two pair. And then there's Old Faithful Mora Companion HD. We've had this knife for years and years and years. It's been all over the world. High carbon steel, Scandi grind, good solid rubber handle for grip, and it's relatively cheap, so if we drop it, we can replace it easily. But it's a great carving tool for campcraft and woodcraft around the fire at night. As part of our toolkit, we have extra 550 or parachute cord we can use for anything around camp. Under that paracord is going to be a small military cravat. We can use this 100% cotton item that's shaped like a triangle for just about anything we would need it to out in the field. And then next we should have a good sewing kit or repair kit to repair clothing out in the field, in the jungle, as well as hold extra animal procuring devices like hooks, line, and wire. Now, another item as part of our tools in our jungle survival kit is going to be a sniper veil. Think of it like a shamag, only it's going to be twice the length and about the similar width, size, and material. The mesh size in the sniper veil is large, allowing a lot of air through, so we can take advantage of it if we wear it, but we can also use it as a scarf around our neck to help absorb the sweat and cool us off using convective breezes in a jungle environment. We can also take this material, because it's almost as tall as I am, probably taller. We can use it as camouflage, wrapping it around the shoulders and up over the head to help break up the human outline of our shoulders and our head, and then take advantage of terrain and thick vegetation to remain concealed in the jungle if we're trying to avoid pursuers. And that last item as part of our tool kit for our jungle survival kit is a rain jacket. We can wear this as a piece of clothing to help get the rain off of us and stay dry, or attempt to stay dry. We can use it for other things in improvisation in a jungle environment as well. Now let's talk fire. Fire is incredibly important in a jungle environment because everything's wet, but we need fire to do everything for us. Signal for rescue, as well as treat our water to make it safe to drink, cook our meat, and keep us warm or keep the predators away. With fire, we want things that are going to give us fire. We're not pulling any fancy tricks out in the jungle. So the items we have with us, a ferro rod with tinder, we have a lighter, and we have matches. That first item is going to be cotton balls and Vaseline with our ferro rod. Here we can simply strike our ferro, ignite the cotton ball with Vaseline, and we have long-lasting tinder for flame and fire. Next, we have matches. We want to bring the best matches we can, stormproof, weatherproof, waterproof matches. Matches, the regular camp matches, are notorious for being bad in a jungle environment, and here we see it right away with just a basic camp match that won't even light or stay lit for us and blows out or went out very quickly. But we have stormproof matches, and anytime we go to a jungle environment, or anywhere for that matter, bring a variety of matches. Strike anywhere matches, camp matches, as well as stormproof matches. We can take those matches and get it going, and the stormproof lasts a few more seconds than a normal match, but we have a way to start fire with matches, and we need to bring the best matches possible for the jungle. As part of our fire kit, we have a lighter, which should be our first and primary way to get a fire going, but we also have rubber, and what we can do is take bike inner tube, like Ranger bands, and larger pieces of that rubber and put them around our fire kit survival items, like around our match case, around our lighter. Anywhere we can find spots to plug in rubber, we should. But that rubber, we just pull off a strip or cut it out with our multi-tool, and then simply take our lighter and light that rubber. It will stay lit for a long, long time and hold a flame very well, giving us the opportunity to get a fire going, even with wet material. Now, besides our tools, besides medication, besides fire lighting material, one of the most important kits or sub-kits that we can bring as part of our jungle survival kit is our water kit. We need to have multiple and different ways to treat water to make it safe to consume, because in a jungle environment, it is hard for the evaporation and convection of the breeze to actually take that moisture away, along with your body temperature, to cool you down. So we have more and more ways to help get fluids into our system that is safe for us to drink. We have a filter, we have a pot or a couple of pots to boil water, to purify it, or to treat it to make it safe to drink, as well as chemical means to make water safe for us to drink in our kit. Canteen cup and pouch, along with water treatment tablets, and if you're lucky enough to find it, the stove or platform attachment for the canteen cup to cook underneath using a fire, is a great piece of kit for bushcraft and survival, and especially in a jungle environment. We can take that aluminum piece or the platform for the canteen cup and actually dig, and we could use the canteen cup as well, but dig a trough into the earth, taking advantage of the wind direction, take out some of our tinder from our fire kit, and then start a small fire in that trough. Or we could use stove or camp fuel or Esbit cubes. But then we just take that platform, put it crossways over the trough that we dug so it sits flush, simply put our canteen in that, so we begin boiling water and treating that water to make it safe to drink. Or we could cook in this and create a meal or a hot drink out in the field, and it makes things a lot easier. It's a great kit to have. Water being so important in a jungle environment means that we should pack a lot of different things for water treatment out in the field. We can find water just about anywhere in the jungle, and streams, or from different plant sources, but we need to have ways to treat that water to make it safe to drink. That's why we bring extra water purification tablets or iodine tablets to treat water chemically. We also have an extra bush pot or metal container to purify or treat or disinfect water in, as well as make mixtures and medicines out in the field. And then an emergency stove with fuel. I prefer or recommend the Esbit stove because it's very easy, but this is an emergency stove used to cook or make a hot drink or potentially boil water in. On top of that, a filter that is going to work for us alone as a standalone item, but a filter that will also work as a combined piece of gear. In this case, we have our Camelback to carry 100 ounces of water with us, an extra water container, but we can take that filter, and if we have to, we can cut the hose because the filter comes with attachments, and we can simply plug in that filter and have an inline filter in the hose from dirty water in our Camelback going through that filter, drink the water, and we're good to go. Shelter is obviously very important in any survival situation, but maybe more so in the jungle because at nighttime everything comes alive. When we are asleep, the forest floor is crawling with everything that comes out at night. And so we want to have a way to get up off the ground and a way to get out of the elements. And we do this by having a hammock that we can sit in to get up off the ground, a suspended shelter. And then we can take our poncho and use it as a tarp over top of our hammock to get out of the rain and protect us from the elements. And we also have that mosquito net that we can hang inside of our shelter with a second ridge line to go over our shelter and to protect us from mosquitoes. With our kit, we have bungee cords and 550 cord and different attachment points. Bungee cords are great because we can set it and forget it. With our 550 cord, we want at least 2 ridge lines, one for outside the shelter to hang up our tarp, one for inside for dry clothes and hanging up that mosquito net. And then we also have our straps, and if we can fit in rubber anywhere, we have these large rubber bands that go around the straps to help contain them, but we can also use them as fire sources as well. For a jungle survival kit, food items, we're going to bring food with us. Definitely always bring food with us, things to help replace electrolytes, get protein, fats, and carbohydrates into the system. But we also have ways to get food, bringing small fishing or hunting kits like this one with hooks, line, bobber, razors, and wire that we can use to go after game in the area. Signaling for rescue in a jungle environment is going to be very difficult because of the vegetation and tree canopy, but we still need to bring survival signals with us in case we find that open area or are able to create opportunities to signal with these devices. So we bring things like a large VS-17 panel to alert search and rescue aircraft or create a signal on the ground, our signaling mirror, as well as a whistle for an auditory signal. We have our strobe that can be seen at nighttime, and our headlamp that has every function we could possibly want, as well as that strobe function. But we cover on all our bases with this signaling kit: day and night signals, active passive signals, as well as visual and auditory. We need to have all of these signals as part of our kit. In Army survival training, met a former POW from the Vietnam era who was a Kiowa pilot, shot down and evaded for 11 days after dispatching his captors, and he used a signaling mirror to alert a search and rescue aircraft to pick him up, and he was eventually recovered. So it behooves us to bring these items with us into the jungle. For land navigation, we bring a waterproof map or a laminated map, as well as 2 compasses so we can double check our azimuth and direction to make sure that we're right and we don't get turned around. Alright guys, that does it for this video. Very down and dirty video today on a jungle survival kit. Maybe a few tips and tricks that you guys haven't heard of or need to add to your kit bag for survival. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did like this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, leave me a comment in the comment section. I always appreciate your feedback. I want to thank you guys for everything you do for me, for this channel, for your likes, your views, your subscriptions, your comments, your feedback, and your shares. And I'll be back with another video as soon as I can, guys. Thanks.